Hello everybody! Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Raju who lived in a village. One sunny afternoon, when he came back from his school, he found his house to be locked. Without further delay, he rushed to his auntie's house to find out the matter. Yes, you're right. Today's topic is story writing. Story writing is a must. It is one of the most important writing topics for 9th and 10th CBSE. The marked content of a story writing is 10 and the word limit happens to be 150 to 200 words. Now, talking about the word limit, I have found students, they tend to write a lot. They mostly exceed the word limit given. Now my request is that not to exceed the word limit. Your writing should neither be too short nor it should be too lengthy. If it's 200, say you can write plus or minus 10. Like you can write a story of 190 words or of 210. I think it is better to keep it within 200 words as 200 words is enough to put your imagination into words. Now, the skills required for story writing. Two very important skills required for this. First is your imaginative skills. Second is your writing skills. Imaginative skills and your way. The way you put your words in it. That is the narrative skills. So these two skills are very essential to excel in story writing. Mostly students who are good at imagining, who are good at narrating, they excel in this. And that is why I always focus on reading storybooks right from the childhood. Because that opens your mind to a vast world of imagination. And if you have a good hold on the language, it becomes easy for you to put your imagination into words. Coming to the division of marks. How is this 10 marks divided? The first very essential part or component of a story writing is a title. As a movie has a title, the same, your story must have a title. Your title should not be too lengthy, neither it should be too short. It should be 2 to 3 words and should be appropriate to the content or the story that you have developed or that you will develop. So the first 1 mark goes to your title. Coming to the next one is content. What are you going to write in the story? How well are you going to put your thoughts in the paper? So that comes in the content. How good the child is at imagining things. How good the child is in putting his imagination into words. So 4 marks goes for the content that you develop. Then next is accurate words. I always ask my students to use good words, strong vocabulary, good vocabulary, because that actually beautifies your writing. So using appropriate words or accurate words fetches you 2 marks. Coming to the next one is spelling and correct sentence structure. Now I know that many of my students, not my students, many of the students, they keep struggling with spellings. Of course, if you make a spelling mistake, that will cost you mark. So avoid spelling mistakes and take care of your sentence structure. If you are starting the sentence in past, which we always do, we generally start a story or we generally write a story in past tense. If your story is in past tense, try to keep it in the same tense. Do not keep on jumping from one tense to other, which I have seen in most of the cases. That actually spoils the plot of the story. Stick to the tense, take care of your sentence structure, and yes, take care of your spellings. silly spelling errors are not expected from a class 9th or a 10th student. If your spellings, your sentence structure, your words that you have used, your content, your title, everything matches and everything is perfect, then nobody can stop you from fetching a 9 or a 9.5. In some cases, students even fetch a 10 out of 10 in story writing. Yes, that is possible, but you need to take care of all these. Now, after division of marks, coming to the elements. What are the elements of a story writing? What actually a story writing is? I hope all of you must have watched movies, and some movies are excellent. You like them a lot. You like to watch them again and again. Why? The story, the content of the story, the characters of the story, right? So here, the first element of your story is the background where you have started or where you have put your characters. Coming to the first example that I had given, once upon a time, there was a boy. Now, once upon a time, it is not a mandatory starting line. Your story need not always start with the word, with these phrases, once upon a time. You may start your sentence like this. There was a boy named Raju who lived in a village. So, your background. In my story, what were the background? The background was village, and I also said a sunny afternoon. So, I have used the words sunny, afternoon. So, can you get yourself into that scene? A scene of a village, sunny afternoon, a boy coming back from school. So, I have already set the background of the story by using the words village, sunny afternoon. Next, so once somebody is reading the story, the background is already created. What's next? Next is inserting the characters. Now my request is not to insert too many characters. 1 or maximum 3 characters are enough to make a fruitful story. Now, characterization, when you are introducing a character, like in my case, in my example, when I said there was a boy named Raju who was smart and intelligent. I have used adjectives or describing words to describe my characters, right? So, introducing your character with proper describing words will give you an added advantage. Like in movies, when the character, let's say when the hero or the protagonist is introduced in the movie, so he comes with a lot of pomp and show, right? So same thing you have to do. Here you need to introduce your characters with some words. Coming to the next one is series of action. Now story writing or narrating a story is nothing but a series of actions linked properly with each other. So first this happened, then this, then this. So how do you link your actions to come to a proper conclusion? So your series of action is very important. Your action should coordinate, first action should coordinate with the next action. And the next action should coordinate properly with the next action. So that only will make your story go smoothly. And yes, whenever in the story you are introducing a character, keep it in mind to use a few words, maybe 1 or 2 words to describe the character. Oh, he was kind-hearted, a generous man. Or if a negative character, oh, he was cruel and he didn't help anybody. So that series of action linked together will help you to frame a good story. Next is a positive approach. Now, I have mostly seen students, especially boys, what they do when they write a story, they bring in characters like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Now, please, supernatural characters, try to avoid them. Your characters should be human beings like us, and yes, there should be freshness and originality in your story. It should not be copied from somewhere. So that freshness, originality should be there in your story. And yes, your story should have a positive approach. It should not have any negative, it should not give any negative vibration or negative vibe, as in murder, kidnapped, blood, witch, ghost. Please avoid this. Your story should end on a positive note. Yes, you can arise a conflict in the story to arouse suspense in the reader, but eventually your story should end on a positive note. It will help you to fetch good marks. Believe me, readers, when they read, examiners, when the teachers, they correct the paper, they actually look for this. They avoid negative ending or negative conclusions. Coming to the next is point of view. Now, when you are beginning to write a story, you have to thoroughly decide whether you are the character or you are the voice of the character. If you are the character, then your writing should be in first person, it should be I. So everywhere in the story should be I went to the balcony, I was sipping a cup of coffee, and then suddenly there was a loud noise. So if you're starting the story with I, that means if you are the character, you need to continue the story in that way. If you are not the character, rather you are just the voice of the character, then it comes to third person, that is he or she. So you have to continue it by use of these words. Like in my story, I was the voice of the character. I was the voice of Raju. I have seen many students, they start writing the story with I, and then after a few lines they change it to he, she. So that actually shows that you do not have a proper connectivity of your thoughts. So please avoid it. Now, I have discussed the division of marks, the elements, the skills required, the mark content, and the word limits. Now I will discuss the pattern of questions that come for story writing. I have two pattern of questions for you. The first one is, I'll read it for you. This is from the latest CBSE 10th board question paper. I'll just read the question for you. Gandhiji traveling by train, hyphen, standing in the doorway, hyphen, talking to a friend, hyphen, one shoe slipped off the foot, hyphen, fell near the track, hyphen, Gandhiji promptly dropped the second shoe, hyphen, why? Friend asked, hyphen, someone will get a complete pair and use it, said Gandhiji. Now this pattern of question is actually pretty easier to write because the characters are already inserted and the storyline has already been given. The frame has been given. You just need to put some sentences and prepare your story. You need not add any character in this. You need not have to develop any special background to it. The story is clear to you. You just need to fill the entire thing. It's like you have to just put them in proper sentences and you have to make it up to the required word limits. Generally, these kind of stories, it is easier for students to write. But then, there are other pattern of questions. The second pattern of question is this. It was a Sunday afternoon. We had gone for a picnic to a park. Suddenly, I found that my 7-year-old sister was missing from the group. We went in search of her in the woods, and now here the background is given. The characterizations are done. What you have to do is you have to take the story further. If you want, you can insert some more characters into this. If you want, you can take the story ahead with a lot of twist and turn, but don't forget to give it a positive approach. This kind of story writing, this pattern of story writing needs a lot of imagination. And yes, some of the students are really good at writing, I know that. So these are the two patterns of questions. One is all the clues are given, and the other one is just the beginning line has been given. And there's one more pattern of question where just the moral would have been given and you have to develop a story based on the moral, which is very rare in case of the CBSE syllabus. Mostly the questions come in these two patterns. And yes, nothing is difficult, everything is easy only when you practice. As we all know that continuous and rigorous practice makes a man perfect. So here, my dear students, all you have to do is you have to practice writing. Keeping all these points in mind, you have to keep on practicing. And yes, after writing a story, don't forget to get it corrected by your teacher, by your parents, or anybody whom you consider as your mentor. I hope this video is helpful to all of you. Thank you for watching it. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching my video. If you like my video, then press the like button and share with your friends and family members. And don't forget to subscribe my channel by pressing the bell icon to get the latest updates.